Hello to apples out there. It's a brand new week, so you guys know what that means. A new week with lots of new adventures to be had, and I'm going to be taking you guys on my adventures I get up to this week. It's Monday, and I've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off work, which meant I was able to have a little bit of a lie-in this morning, which felt so good. I then got up and showered and changed. I had a lovely long shower, listened to some music whilst in the shower, having a good sing song in the shower. Sorry to the neighbours. I then got dressed, head downstairs and made myself some breakfast. I had some lemon curd toast with a cup of tea for my breakfast. Bloody love lemon curd so much, it's so good. Smothered that all over my toast and really enjoyed that. I then had some bear cuddles. I was playing with him with his remains of his purple dinosaur toy that he loves, but it literally ripped, so there's bits of him everywhere. Poor Barney the dinosaur. It literally looks like Barney the dinosaur that he's just destroyed. And he was loving it, wagged his tail, gave me lots of kisses. And then my mum had taken my younger sister up for a doctor's appointment. They got back and my dad was just sort of stuff around the house, and I then had a cup of tea and some biscuits. I was just reading some more of His Rivalry, which I started reading, and I'm getting through it so quick. I am loving it, it's so good. I watched this series first, then read the books, because now I can like picture it in my head, which I am loving reading, and it's a little bit raunchy, but yeah, I love it so much and can't wait for the second series to be out next year. And whilst waiting for that, I can read the books whilst waiting. I then got myself ready to go off to my happy place, the garden centre. I head up there, and whilst on my way up there, I was listening to music on my headphones. I then got up to the garden centre, and the first thing I did was head straight to the flower section. I got some flower sets on there that I'll show you guys. They've got loads of spring flowers starting to appear, which I love. Springtime is one of my favourite times of year, with all the flowers starting to appear and lots of roses. And I was able to get some really pretty flower snaps with such lovely colours and patterns on. I then got a few selfies in front of some of the spring displays, so they've got loads of plastic, pretty patterned flowers like around the place. So I was getting loads of photos in front of those. And then I headed inside of the garden centre and went off to have a look at the home section and the stationery section, and I had a look at some of the plushies and the mugs and notebooks and some of the sweets and chocolates and little cakes they had in there. I was having a lovely look around there. I then headed off to the plant section and I got some plant arts from there, and I'll show you guys those. They've got such beautiful plant displays with lovely succulents and cactuses and pretty patterned leaves. I was having a good look around there at some of the new plant displays that they'd set up. I was then chatting to one of my mates who works there, and then I made my way back. And on my way back, I was chatting to Tash, and I just watched The Devil Wears Prada 2 trailer, which looks insane. It's out in cinema on May 1st, so I'm going to be definitely having to see that with Tash. And I was making my way down one of the country lanes that cars never go down, but today a car did go down there. It does say unsuitable for wide vehicles, but they obviously didn't listen, or obviously not see it, or probably just ignored it. So there's like a tiny little country lane, and this car comes down. I'm on the phone to Tash, I'm obviously aware of my surroundings, so I literally have to like dart to the side in this little bush in hopes to not get splattered. I was like flipping heck, and it also was going so fast, it was ridiculous. And then I got back to the main roads and made way to One Stop and got myself some lunch from there. I then got back and I had my lunch, and I got some chicken Caesar wraps. I bloody love a chicken Caesar wrap. Caesar salad cream is probably my favourite thing ever. It's probably my favourite condiment, and it was so delicious. And I had some barbecue hula hoops as well. I got myself a drink to have for the walk back, as although it was a bit overcast, it was actually really muggy and I was absolutely melting, so I had that drink to cool me down. I then had a cup of tea and some biscuits and just read some more of His Rivalry, worked on some illustrations and colour some days in, and just listened to a bit of music. I've been really loving Take That. I've always loved them, but I would love them even more after watching the Take That documentary series on Netflix. And I can't believe I saw them 2 years ago now, and yeah, they were so good live, so energetic, flipping around the stage. It was just insane. I was like, if I tried doing that, I'm only 28, I probably would have put my back out. And for them to be doing it in their like late 40s, early 50s, I'd be like, blimey neck, fair play to them. And my older sister messaged me to suggest going off to have a look around the charity shops, as she's got some things to take up there, and said if I wanted to, I could join her. So she's now going to be coming to pick me up for 3 o'clock, and then we're going to be heading off to have a look in the charity shops, and I shall see you with a bit more of the vlog once I'm back from that. It's a little bit later on in the day now, and my older sister was running a little bit late to pick me up, so whilst waiting for her to come pick me up, I sorted my Breeder doll out into a new look, and I'll show you guys that. Here's my Breeder doll's newest look. Starting off with the shoes, she's got these white pumps on, and then she's got this beautiful floral dress on with this white jumper underneath with these lace sleeves, and I love all the colours on the flowers, the orange, red and pink, so vibrant, and she's actually twinning with me today. Flower power, I love that floral dress. My older sister then came and picked me up, and we went off to the charity shops. I had some stuff to take up to donate. We then headed off to have a look around some of the charity shops, and then went off to Coffee One, and I had a bit of Victoria sponge cake with a caramel frappe, and I'll show you guys that. The caramel frappe and Victoria sponge cake I had from there was so delicious. We sat in this little corner table and we're just chatting and having a good catch up, and then I saw 2 of my regulars from work. One of them complimented me on my jumper and said how nice it was, and said how it looked very good on me, bless them. And then another one was sat on one of the safe areas, and whilst my older sister popped to leave, I went over and chatted with them for a little bit, and then me and my older sister went off and had a look around a few more charity shops, and she had to go off to a dentist's appointment. I then went off back to one of the charity shops where I'd seen this blue knitted jumper, tried it on, but it wasn't to be, c'est la vie. I then went off to one of the cafes where one of my friends from morning group was, so I went and had a catch up with them, and then got some mirror selfies from there that I'll show you guys. We've got such beautiful mirrors in there with lovely wallpaper and print and lanterns. It's so beautiful in there. I then went off to have a look in the bookshop. I love the smell of old books so much. And I went off to have a look in T.C. Jones at some of the stationery, and then made my way back. And whilst on my way back, I was listening to music on my headphones. I then got back and had a cup of tea and some biscuits. I was reading a bit more of Heath Rivalry, worked on some illustrations, kind of some days in, and was listening to a bit of music. And then for my tea, I had some buttered chicken, and I'll show you guys that. It was so delicious, and I'm now off to go and finish writing my journal entry for today, and then I'm going to be watching today's Home and Away and UK soaps and reading some more of Heath Rivalry, and we'll see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Tuesday, and I got up after a little bit of a lie-in. I then had some breakfast. I had some lemon curd toast with a cup of tea. I was there just watching a little bit of TV, listening to some music, and was having some bear cuddles, and just watched some vlogs and TikToks and some furry dog and cat videos, and I was just working on some illustrations and kind of some days in and watching some stuff off Netflix. I then had a cup of tea and some biscuits and just read some more of Heath Rivalry, and then got myself ready to go off for a walk, and it was overcast. I had my coat just in case it started to rain, as it was looking a little bit dark, and I made my way up to the high street and went off and had a look on some of the charity shops, went off to one of the book shops and to T.C. Jones and into Aldi, and I had a look at the Best Buy section in there, and then popped to one of the cafes and got a hot chocolate from them. They do such good hot chocolates in there. I sat and had that, and it started to rain a little bit, and it was actually quite peaceful watching the rain trickle down the window and the sound of the rain. I love the sound of rain. I then got some mirror selfies from there, and I'm sure got such cute mirrors in there, and lovely wallpaper, very funky wallpaper, which I love, and really cute lights and lanterns. I then went off and had a look around some more of the shops, and I went off to the flower shop at the bottom of the high street, and I got some flower sets from there that I'll show you guys. They've got such beautiful bouquets of flowers in there with lovely colours on those flowers with pretty patterns on, lots of pretty roses. I then got some plant stats. That plant section is so beautiful. All the plants in the window, as you walk in, you can see all of the beautiful succulents and cactuses with all the pretty patterns and the plant pots. I was then having a lovely chat with the flower shopkeepers in there. I then got 2 mirror selfies from there. I'm sure what I've done was in front of the mirror with all these beautiful bouquets of flowers around it. The other one was where all the plants were, and it's so cute in there. I then went off to Co-op and got myself some lunch from there. I then made my way back and I bumped into one of my best mates' colleagues who always wears such cute dungaree king, and was having a lovely chat with him. I then bumped into him again, and so I was like, have a good rest of your day, and went off. And I didn't even remember what I said, but you know that TikTok or that like video where someone talks to you and then you say something stupid and they walk over and they're like, fuck. I was like that. I didn't even know what I said, but I knew that it was just, I didn't even know what I said now, but it wasn't right. And as I walked off, I was like, what the hell? Always doing that. I was just like, I should have just said, nice to see you again, but instead I went and put my foot in it and just said something stupid. But yeah, oh well, Sophie. I then made my way back and I was listening to music on my headphones, and it started to rain pretty heavily, so I was glad I had my coat on. Got back and put my coat on the radiator to dry off as it was soaked. I then had my lunch and I had some chicken stuffing sandwiches. I love chicken and stuffing, and had that with some of the refrigerators and got a drink from there as well, and I had that and did a TikTok. And my mum has gone off to my grandma's where she goes most Tuesday afternoons, and I am now off to go and read some more of Heath Rivalry and just chill before going off to Joseph volunteering this evening. I shall see you with a bit more to vlog when I'm back from that. It's later on in the evening now, and I'm back from being a jigsaw volunteering that I do on Tuesday nights. So I got dropped up there by my dad, and I was doing some smoothie and milkshake making with the kids at Jigsaw, and so we were making some vanilla and banana milkshakes and doing some blueberry and mango smoothies. We then played some games of Kahoot, this quiz site which the kids always love to play, which is really fun. And then it was the end of the session. I then got picked up by my dad. I then got back and I had some bear cuddles and was playing with him with one of his cuddly toys. I got a snap of him on the sofa, and I'll show you guys that. He is so adorable and he's getting so big. I then had my tea, and for my tea I had some pizza, and I'll show you guys that. The pizza was so delicious. I didn't finish writing my journal entry for today, put that away and just finished off a new illustrations that I just been working on, and I'll show you guys that. Here is one of my newest illustrations. I was going to be getting a new sketchbook from T.G. Jones today, but I found a load of spare paper in the back of my current sketchbook, so I thought I'd use that all up before getting my next sketchbook. And this one I've just been working on is so pretty. I love the high heel boots with the heart print on, and this handbag that also has some heart print on, and these pretty detailed acrylic nails and a heart ring. And she's got this jumper with a collar with a heart shaped brooch with this heart cut dress, and she's got a cross earring in, and she's got such a pretty face with these lashes and winged eyeliner, and then a heart little mark underneath the eye, then this long flowing hair and a pearl necklace. I love all the hearts detail and all the little details. It's giving Queen of Hearts vibes, and I'm now off to go and watch today's Homeaway and UK soaps, and then I'm going to be reading some more of Heath Rivalry. I shall see you more to vlog tomorrow. It's now Wednesday, and I got up early ready to go and catch up with Tash for some breakfast and then head off to go to Armsley Garden Centre. So I got myself ready to go off and meet up with Tash, and I quickly gave my head a bit of a shave with the little shaver that you just go on in a circle motion, and got my head nice and trimmed. And then I put on this cardigan. It's a lovely daisy cardigan. I love it. It's such a beautiful colour of blue as well, and it was sunny but a little bit windy, a little bit chilly, so I put this cardigan on to keep me warm. I then listened to music whilst on my way out to go to the coffee lab to meet Tash, and I was calling and texting her, and I knew exactly what was happened. She had obviously overslept, so I ended up heading to hers and waking her up, and she's like, I didn't jump in her head. And then she got ready and we then headed off to go to the coffee shop, and before heading there we went off to Surroundings, one of my favourite shops to go into. Always sell such cool little crafts, really cool prints, cards, stationery, socks, notebooks, candles, all things I love. And they absolutely loved my cardigan and were saying how it reminds them of one of the contestants from The Traitors who had a cardigan similar. And then I went off to the coffee shop with Tash for breakfast, and I had a chai latte with one of those berry yogurts with the nuts, and we'll show you guys that. That chai latte and the berry yogurt I had was so delicious. It comes with nuts, and I'm not a big fan of the nuts in there, so I ended up giving those to Tash, who had the same yogurt as me, so she had double the nuts. And then we went off to Co-op and I got a drink from there and a drink to have for work tomorrow, as I'm doing a 9 till 3 tomorrow. And then got some cash out and then went off to the flower shop and had a look in there, and they also loved my cardigan. And then we made our way off to go to get the bus to the garden centre, and we got there and I had my drink that I got from Co-op whilst waiting for the bus to arrive. The bus had arrived and we then made our way off to go to the garden centre. We then arrived at the garden centre and headed in there, and Tash got some snacks and meat from the garden centre. She got some really cute snacks and meat in front of some of the displays in the garden centre. I then went off to the plant section. We've got such a huge plant section. I was having a lovely look around there at all the succulents and cactuses and the pretty patterned plant pots. And then we went off and had a look around outside in the outside area where they've got the flowers, and me and Tash got a mirror selfie from a load of mirrors that you can put out in your garden, and I'll show you guys that. We were then looking at some of the plaques that you have quotes and song lyrics on that you can put out in your garden, and they had some jokey ones as well. And then we went off to the flower section and I got some flower snacks from there to show you. They've got such beautiful flowers in that garden centre with lovely colours and patterns, and lots of spring flowers starting to creep in, which I love. And then we went off and had a look at the home section, and I was having a look at the stationery and some of the mugs and some of the sweets and cakes and plushies. And then Tash got some chocolate sticks from there, the ones that have like chocolate at the top and like biscuit at the bottom, and always reminds me of the long cigarettes. They had like the Croix de Vol kind of cigarettes, they're the really long ones. And then we made our way back to go get the bus back from the garden centre. We got the bus just near to where the Alpaca Cafe is. I went in there to have some lunch, and I got some coronation chicken sandwiches with some salad and had a chai latte. And the chai latte had an alpaca coffee art in, which is so cute, and I'll show you guys that. The food in there is so delicious. We then chilled in there for a little bit, and Tash is playing this coffee making game where you work in a cafe. She does that for a job in real life, and now she also does it online gaming as well, and said that I should get it to like practice my coffee making, which I think I'm going to be doing, so it would probably help me a lot. We then made our way back from being there, and on our way back we stopped off at one of the pubs for a little pit stop, and I had to use the loo, and then got some J-trays from there, and I'm going to show you guys a snap of that. The J-tray was so delicious. We chilled in there for a little bit, and I got some mirror selfies from some of the mirrors they have in there to show you guys. We then made our way back. We then got back into town, and Tash headed back to hers, and she's going to be coming to our workplace tomorrow after my shift is finished at 3, and we're going to be getting some food from our workplace and then sorting out my D&D character for when we're playing D&D tomorrow night. And then I made my way back, And on my way back, I was listening to a bit of music. I'm loving Harry Styles' new song. It's got such a good beat. I got back and had some bear cuddles, and my dad had gone fishing like he does most Wednesdays. So Bear was very happy to see me, and at first thought it may be Dad, so he was a little bit disappointed at first, and then he was very happy to see me and giving me lots of kisses. I was playing with him with one of his toys. I then had a cup of tea and some biscuits and was just reading a bit more of Heated Rivalry. My dad then got back from fishing, and Bear was really happy to see him and was doing zoomies around the kitchen, bless him. And then I was just watching a bit of Six Country, a bit of Father Brown, and watched some Doctor Who episodes. Just a bit of music and just worked on some illustrations, and kind of dozing. I was working on a bit of my short story, and then my mum was getting the tea ready, and we were having pie for tea, and it smelled so good. I then was just tidying up my office and Dolls and Dollhouse a little bit, and then for my tea we had our pie, and I'll show you guys that. The pie that we had for tea was so delicious. I then tidied away and had a cup of tea and a donut for my pudding, and then I finished writing my donut entry for today, put that away and got my uniform ready for work tomorrow. I'm doing a 9 till 3, and it's me and one other colleague on, so I hope it's not too busy but not too quiet, a nice mixture of the both. And I'm now off to go and watch today's Home and Away and UK soaps, finish writing my journal entry for today, and then I'm going to be reading some more of Heated Rivalry, and just see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Thursday and I got up early ready for work. I was doing a 9 till 3, so I got myself ready for work, had some toast and a cup for my breakfast and some bear cuddles, just a bit of music, and then I got myself off to work, and I had my fleece on. I thought it was going to be absolutely chucking down with rain, really miserable and gloomy, but it actually wasn't that bad. It was very windy, but it wasn't raining, so it was still dry, thankfully. So I just had my fleece on to keep me warm, as it's a little bit chilly, and listened to some music on my headphones whilst on my way up to work. I then got into work, got clocked in and put my bag and coat away and helped my colleague open up, and it was just me and one other colleague on shift. It started off quite quiet, so I was just doing a few cleaning jobs that could we get done, and then we had some of the regulars come in for coffees and for breakfast. So I was running food and drinks, doing some food and drink orders and drinks making, and cleaning tables, and saw some of the regulars, and some people were sat outside in a little gazebo area, so I was cleaning tables inside as well as outside. It then quieted down again, so I just did some more cleaning jobs and was polishing some cutlery and put some clean plates and cups away. And then we had quite a busy lunch rush, so quite a lot of people came in, and we had a burger and burger day that we have on Thursday, so we had quite a lot of people ordering lots of burger and burgers. And then it quieted down again, and whilst my colleague was doing the orders, I did a few coffees. I'm getting quite confident on making coffees on the coffee machine now. Did a few lattes, and then I finished at 3. I then clocked off and got changed into this jumper that I'm wearing right now, and I met Tash for some food at our workplace, as she was coming to meet me to sort out my D&D character for tonight at games night where we play D&D. And I got a mirror selfie from one of these mirrors in our workplace, which is this white mirror that always reminds me of the mirror from Harry Potter, and I'll show you guys that. It's such a pretty mirror. I then sat on table 12, the covered sofa area, with Tash when she arrived, and we had some lunch, and I had some dirty fries with a half pint of cola, and I'll show you guys the dirty fries that I had. The dirty fries that I had for my lunch were so delicious. I was so hungry, so I absolutely devoured those. I then finished off my half pint of Coke and just sat chatting with Tash for a little bit. Then I headed off to go get picked up, and before getting picked up, I went off to Surroundings, this really cool shop that sells lots of art bits and mugs and socks and notebooks and candles and all really cool things like that. And I got some snacks on there that I'll show you. I then was going to be walking back, but then I heard people saying about how it's just been raining for the next 2 hours, so I didn't really want to fancy getting caught in the rain, so I ended up getting picked up by my mum. And before getting picked up, whilst waiting for her down by the IT shop, there's a restaurant just near to my workplace, and they have some really pretty lanterns, and I'd gone in there on Sunday evening to have a look at them, and one of the ladies in there this evening asked if she wanted me to get any photos of of me in front of these lanterns? And I said, yes, please. So she got this really pretty snap of me in front of these lanterns, and I'll show you guys that. She got some great snaps of me in front of those lanterns. They're so beautiful, and all the pretty lights. I was having a lovely catch up with her. She used to run one of the flower shops in the high street. She now does like weddings and stuff and events, so it's not an actual shop anymore, but it's more like online kind of thing now, which is, I love sort of seeing her creations, but it's also a bit gutting because I used to always love going in there and having good chats with them. It was great to see them and have a lovely catch up with them. I then got picked up by my mum. I then got home and put my work clothes in the wash, and I'm not in work till Saturday, and I don't even get a light tomorrow morning, as I've got my first morning group session back, as it wasn't on last Friday morning, so I'm looking forward to that. I then had a cup of tea and some biscuits and just read some more of Heated Rivalry. I've literally got this much left to read, and I'll be on to the second one, and the third one is out in September, which I'm really looking forward to getting. I then was listening to a bit of music, worked on some illustrations and colour some days in, and was watching some vlogs and TikToks and funny dog and cat videos, and was working on a bit of my short story that I'm working on. And then my dad had taken Bear for a walk, and they got back, and I then headed off to the shops to get some drinks for this evening, as we have games night. I'm playing D&D, and I've sorted out my characters look and her strengths and weaknesses, and I'm really looking forward to playing D&D tonight at games night. It's going to be so much fun, and I'm now off to go and finish reading some more of Heated Rivalry and have a cup of tea and some biscuits, and I'm just going to be having some more of my custard creams. I bloody love custard cream, and I'm just going to be chilling before games night this evening, and just see you more of the vlog when I'm back from that. It's later on in the evening now, and I'm back from being at games night at Jen's. So I got picked up by Amelia and Tash. We then went off to pick up Jazz, and then we went down to Jen's and we had some pizza for tea, and I'm sure you guys the pizza we had. The pizza was so delicious. We also had some milk tea, and Jazz had bought some watermelon and some strawberries and some sweets for us to snack on whilst playing D&D. We then got that set up and started playing that, and we had so much fun. Slowly getting the hang of that, and I'm sure you guys some stats I got from the game. The game went really quick. You know what they say, time flies when we're having fun. We're going to be continuing playing that next week, and we packed away, and then Amelia and Tash and Jazz dropped me back, and me and Tash were play fighting to see who would get to the front seat of the car, and I did. We then were in the car heading off, and we thought that we'd all got in the car. We didn't realise that Tash had not got in the car yet, and we started driving off, and all of a sudden we hear a little voice saying hello, and didn't realise that the side door was open, so we reversed back. She got in, and we were literally crying with laughter as we were sure that she was in the car. I then got dropped back to mine, and I thanked them for a lovely evening. I then got in, and I was just chatting with my mum. My mum and dad had gone out for a curry, so I was chatting with my mum about how her food was. I then finished writing my journal entry for today, and then put that away, and I then was just listening to a bit of music, had some cereal, and was just reading some more of Heated Rivalry, and watching some vlogs and TikToks and some funny dog and cat videos, and I have just set my alarm ready for tomorrow, as it is Friday, so I have morning group on Friday mornings, and I can't wait. We didn't have it last week, really missed it last week, so I'm looking forward to morning group tomorrow. Very excited to see what we get up to, and I'm now off to go and get into my PJs and then watch today's Home and Away and Yuki soaps, and then I'm going to be reading a little bit more of Heated Rivalry, and to see you more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Friday, and I hope you guys are all having a lovely end to your week. It's almost the weekend, and I got up early ready for morning group. It was the first one back after not being on last week as they were away. I had some toast and a cup of tea and watched a bit of TV, listened to some music and had some bear cuddles, and then my mum dropped me off to morning group. I got to morning group and had a lovely catch up with my morning group members, and was just talking about how my week had been. I was asking about how their weeks had been, and then we were doing some arts and crafts, and we were making some Valentine's cards, and we then had some cups of tea and some biscuits, and then I was doing some colouring in after we'd finished the cards. and then it was the end of the session, and before getting picked up by my mum, I had to pop to the loo, and I got a mirror selfie from the bathroom, and I'll show you guys that. You guys know how much I love a mirror selfie, and they've got a really pretty tile in that bathroom with a really nice pattern on. And I got picked up by my mum, and on the way back I called up Tash to ask if she wanted to get a Butty's lunch with me, and she was like, yes please. So she told me what she'd like, and I then called up Butty straight after and ordered me and Tash a Butty's lunch to collect. I then got back and I showed Mum the Valentine's card and the colouring in that I did at Morning Group. I'm sure you guys. This is what I got up to at Morning Group. So we made some Valentine's Day cards as it is next week. I cannot believe how fast this year's going. We're in February already and it's going to be here before you know it. And so we decorated this. We used a little cloth cut into a heart, put a little bow, a little button, a bit of lace here, and some sequins and some little white little spots of paint. And then inside it says Happy Valentine's Day, and then we've got some little kiss heart little sweets in there. And then we had some cups of tea and some biscuits and did a little bit of colouring in. I picked this flower one, which is so cute, and colouring in is just so therapeutic. It was such a fun session. There was only me and two other members, as two of the other members weren't very well, hoping they're feeling better soon. I then got myself ready to go off and collect the Butty's lunch, and on my way to get that I was listening to music on my headphones. I then collected the Butty's lunch and then got a drink for me and Tash each, and then made my way up to High Street and bumped into Amelia, who was on a lunch break at work, so was having a quick chat with her. I then went to Widderford's to try and get some of those cream fingers for me and Tash. They didn't have any, so I got the Belgian bud for me and her, and then went round to Tash's and we had the Butty's lunch and watched Ever After, which is one of my favourite films, and I'm sure you guys snaps of that. Had a great afternoon having our Butties and watching Ever After with Tash, and she loved it just as much as I did. For me, that film is like what Waitress is to her. I know the words and the film back to front, and I'm really glad that she enjoyed the film too. She then had to go off to her mum and dad's to get some bits from there, so I made my way off and I went off to the child shops, had a look in Aldi at the Best Buy section, and went off to the book shop. I love this one of old books so much. I then listened to some music on my headphones on the way back, and the sun had come out, and whilst we'd been watching the movie, outside it had absolutely lashed down with rain, so I was really glad that by the time I was walking back the sun had come out and lovely blue skies. Not what they said the world was supposed to be like this week at all, but I'm glad because I love a bit of sunshine and I hate all this rain. I don't mind a bit of it, but it's just when it's constant it just gets you a bit down. I then got back and had a cup of tea and some biscuits. I was reading a bit more of Hated Rivalry, which I have like this much left to read, and I'll be starting the second one. And then I was just listening to a bit of music and working on some illustrations and colouring some of those in. And I'm now off to go and take Bear for a walk with my dad and enjoy this beautiful sunshine and blue skies whilst it lasts, and we'll see you with a bit more of the vlog later on. It's later on in the evening now, and I got back from being on a walk with my dad and Bear, and he is so much better on the lead now. He's not pulling as much, and we timed it perfectly. As we got back, it started to rain again, and we managed to get out when it was nice and sunny with blue skies. The weather has just been all over the place today. It's just been insane. I was then just working on a bit of my short story that I've been working on at the moment. Listened to a bit of music, had a cup of tea and some biscuits, and just read some more of Hated Rivalry, and I've now finished the first book, and I'm now going to be reading The Long Game. I've just started reading that, and then we ordered a takeaway for tea, and I had a burger and chips, and I'll show you guys that. That burger was humongous and it was so delicious. I then helped tidy away the kitchen, had a cup of tea and some biscuits, and me, my mum, my dad and my younger sister watching a bit of TV, and then my younger brother popped in as he and his girlfriend had been to have tea at my grandma's, and he wanted to come in and see Bear, and Bear was very excited to see him and was jumping up at him, giving him lots of kisses and him having lots of cuddles, and he stayed for a little bit and then went off, and he had to pop in to get stuff. And then they headed back, and I then finished writing my journal entry for today, put that away, and was just listening to a bit of music, working on some illustrations and coloring some days in, and just working on a bit of my short story. And I've got my uniform ready for work tomorrow. I'm doing a 9 till 3, and I'm now off to go and watch today's Home and Away and UK soaps, and then I'm going to be continuing on starting the new Heated Waifu book. I finished the first one. I'm now starting to read The Long Game, and I can't believe how quickly I read the first one. I just absolutely loved them, and I cannot wait to continue reading this. And I'm just going to be chilling for the rest of the evening and just see you with more to vlog tomorrow. It's now Saturday, and I hope you guys are all having a lovely start to your weekend. I got up early, ready for work. I was doing work 9:30 till 3. I had some breakfast, watched a bit of TV, and just listened to a bit of music whilst getting myself ready for work, and had some bear cuddles. And then my dad dropped me off to work, and I got dropped off to work a little bit earlier so that I could get myself a drink for work, and then went off to the flower shop and had a look in there, and I got some flower sets from there and show you guys those. They had lots of bouquets of flowers in there ready for Valentine's Day, and lots of people getting flowers for Valentine's Day, so it's quite busy in there. Lots of lovely colourful roses. I was able to get some really pretty flower snaps. I then got some plant snaps from there. They've got such beautiful plants in there. I love looking at the window displays they have with all their succulents and cactuses, and I love all the succulents and cactuses and the pretty patterned leaves. I then made my way off, and I was going to have a chat with them, but they're pretty snowed under with lots of flower arrangements and flowers ready for Valentine's Day next week. So I was like, have a good day, quickly gave them a wave, and then I made my way off to work. I then got clocked into work, put my bag and coat away, and it was just me and two other colleagues to start with, and then another colleague came in at 10, and I helped open up and was just cleaning some of the tables and getting some of the tables laid out ready for some of the bookings we had in, and was just running some food and drinks, cleaning tables, saw and chatted to some of the regulars. We had a great music players playing, and I had a great team on, and I had a bit of my drink that I'd got to have for work, and then my head chef, like last week, hid it because he is very mischievous, and I was like, I've already got 2 annoying throwers, I don't need a third one, thank you very much. And it didn't take me as long as last time to find it, and had some of that. What is he like? I then was just running some food and drinks, and we had some people sitting outside in a little gazebo area we have outside, so I was cleaning tables inside as well as outside. And then Jazz came on at 10, and we're both doing split shifts, and I am on split shift now. I was only going to be doing it 9:30 till 3, but one of my colleagues wasn't feeling very well, so she asked if someone could cover her evening shift tonight, and that she'd do one of their evening shifts next week. So I messaged her and was like, do you want to do my Wednesday evening and I'll cover you tonight? And she said, yeah, sure. So she now gets to rest up, and I was like, I hope you're feeling better soon. And it means now I am off after Sunday for 5 days, as I was supposed to be working Wednesday night. She's not doing my Wednesday night, and I'm doing her evening shift this evening. So I've now got a split shift, but it means I've got the hours I would have missed out on. So now I just get 5 days off, so I'm looking forward to sleeping for those 5 days. And I was then running lots of food and drinks. We had quite a busy breakfast, lots of people coming for coffees, quite a big booking where they come in and have just lots of coffees, so I ran so many coffees. And then it quieted down, and the weather was crazy. It'd be sunny one minute, then rainy the next, then sunny, then rainy. It just not make its mind up. And we then had a bit of a lunch rush, and I was on bar doing a few food and drink orders and some drinks making, and Jazz got to finish about 2. I then did a massive cleanup, and then I got to go about 2:30ish. I clocked off, got my bag and coat, and got changed into this jump home where I'm at now. And then I headed off to Aldi to get myself some lunch, and then went off and had a little run sort of charge shops. Unluckily by then the sun started to come back out and lovely blue skies. I then went off to the George to get myself a drink, and I treated myself to a sex on the beach and got that, and I got a mirror selfie from there, and she goes the selfie and a snap of myself on the beach that I had. That golden mirror is so beautiful, such a lovely mirror, and always love getting mirror slice on there. And the sex on the beach was so good. I sat and had that, and I hadn't had a sex on the beach in ages, so really enjoyed that. And they had some really good music playing. I then saw and chatted to some of my mates who were at the pub. I then made my way back, and on my way back I was listening to music on my headphones, enjoying the lovely sunshine and blue skies. And I got home and I put my work clothes in the wash and got my clean uniform ready for work this evening, doing a split shift now. And I then had a cup of tea and some biscuits and went some more of Heated Wivery, wrote a bit of my journal, listened to a bit of music, and had my chicken Caesar wraps I got from Aldi's meal deal section to have for my lunch. Had some bear cuddles, and then my dad took Bear off for a walk whilst it was sunny and blue skied. He then got back just as it started to rain, and I'm now off to go and write a bit more of my journal, write some illustrations and colour sort of days in, and probably just watch a bit of Netflix and just chill before work this evening. And it's me, Tash and Jazz this evening, dream team. Can't wait for that, and just see you a bit more of the vlog when I'm back from work later on. It's later on in the evening now, and I'm back from being at work. I had work doing 6 till close. It was my second part to my split shift. I got dropped to work by my older sister who had popped over. I then got into work. I got clocked back into work and put my bag and coat away, and it was me, Tash and Jazz on shift, the dream team, and I knew we were going to absolutely slay. And I got on with some of the clean and clothes jobs. Did the OJ machine, which I hate cleaning with a passion. I got it done straight away, as it's quite a long process to get that cleaned. We laid that, and I got my drink out of my bag that I'd got to have for work. Had some of that, and Tash had one of her players playing, which had lots of Lady Gaga playing, which we were having a good time singing along to whilst doing some cleaning and closure jobs. I was down among some food and drinks and doing some food and drink orders and drinks making and pouring lots of pints and doing lots of gins and wines, and it got quite busy despite the weather being pretty crap, and we had quite a lot of people coming in for pints, and so I was ordering lots of food and drinks. And then it quieted down, and it was the Six Nations, so it had been quite quiet, and then we had quite a big wash and then calmed down again. I then did a massive clean up, and then I finished at 9. I then clocked off, got my bag and coat, and got picked up by my dad. Got back, got changed out of my work uniform and put that away, and I got my clean uniform ready for work, ready for tomorrow. Put my dirty clothes in the wash, and my older sister was still over, and we were watching a bit of the Winter Olympics, and I had a chicken Caesar salad for my tea. It was so delicious. I love a chicken Caesar salad. And then me and my sisters were playing some games, and then my older sister headed home, and then I finished writing my journal entry for today, and I'm now off to go and read some more of Heated Wivery. I shall see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Sunday, and I hope you guys are all having a lovely Sunday rest. I got up ready for work. I was doing work 10 till 5, so I got to have a little bit of a lie-in. I then got showered and changed, ready for work, and had my Sunday music players playing, and was listening to a bit of Easy Like Sunday Morning, Gotta Be Done. I then had some toast and a cup of tea for my breakfast, had some bear cuddles, and just watched a bit of TV and just chilled before going off to work. I then got dropped to work by my dad. I then got into work, got clocked in and put my bag and coat away, and had my drink that I'd got to have for work. I had some of that, and it was me and 3 other colleagues on shift. It was me and 2 of us to start with, and then another colleague came in at 11, and I was running food and drinks, doing food and drink orders and drinks making and cleaning tables, and saw and chatted to some of the regulars. I made a musician come in and play from 12 till 2, and he was doing songs from the 80s and 90s, so I was having a good sing along whilst cleaning tables and running food and drinks, and also cleaning tables inside as well as outside, as it was actually quite nice today. It was overcast but dry, and the rain had stopped by the time I got to work, thankfully. So I was cleaning tables inside and outside, and then I got to have a lunch break, and I had some cheesy nachos, and I'll show you guys those. The nachos I had for my lunch were so delicious, nice and cheesy, just how I like them, and I had a half pint of Coke as well, and was listening to music on my headphones, and was watching a bit of Heated Wivery on Now TV. My timer I'd set for when my break was over had gone off, so I then continued on with my shift and put my plate and glass in pot wash. I then was running some more food and drinks, cleaning tables, and saw and chatted to some of the burglars, and I saw my mate Joel, who now wears glasses, and it was giving me Clark Kent vibes from Superman. And I saw Jen and the kids as well, so I was chatting with them. And from 3 till 5, it was just me and my manager on shift. So I was just doing a load of cleaning jobs I could get done. Did a few pints and some coffee and hot chocolates and milkshakes, and was just running more food and drinks and cleaning tables inside as well as outside. I think it'd been quite a nice day today. It was a bit rainy first thing this morning, and then the sun came out and it was actually quite nice. And I then finished at 5, and I'm now off for 5 days. I was basically working on Wednesday evening, but one of my colleagues wasn't feeling very well yesterday, so I ended up doing a split shift. So she said that she'd do my Wednesday evening. So I was going to be having Monday, Tuesday off, Wednesday night in work, then off Thursday, Friday, and back in Saturday. And because I'm now not working Wednesday evening, I now have 5 days off, and I cannot wait. And I then clocked off and got my bag and coat, and I went off to the shops to get some bits from there that I needed to get, and got some flower snacks from the flower section, and I'm sure you guys those. There's such beautiful flowers in there. I then got picked up by my dad, got back, put my work clothes in the wash and got changed, and my grandma was over for the Sunday roast that my mum was cooking, and it smelled so good. My younger brother and his girlfriend then arrived, and so did my older sister. My older brother and his girlfriend were able to come for tea this evening, and then we had our Sunday roast, and I'm going to show you guys that. The roast dinner was so delicious. I've been craving this roast dinner all day with serving roast dinners at work. We then had some pudding, and we had some rice pudding. We then watched a bit of Auntie's Roadshow and a bit of this David Attenborough wildlife documentary, and then my grandma got taken home, and I'm now off to go and do some vision boards with my sisters and my younger brother's girlfriend. And I hope you guys have all had a lovely week and weekend, and all have a great new week ahead. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I shall see you with a new vlog coming very soon.